Hi, I'm Essie.
And I'm Elle.
Welcome back to Magic and Mayhem.
So, we participated in G's Magical Readathon.
Woo!
We made characters and everything.
We did.
Mine is a vampire.
As
well,
it should be.
I think that's what they call it, vampire.
Something.
Yes.
By the way, we'll link G at Book Roast down below since obviously this was
And it takes place in Aurelium, which is, yes, a fictitious place. It is not real.
Yes. This is a great name for a place. Though.
Yes. And you go through these classes, and each class it goes from O to D: ordinary, qualified, and distinguished. And each class has different prompts, and you earn your grade by reading a book that fits the prompt.
Yes. And the number of classes you have to pass depends on what, career you choose?
Yeah, what career path.
Or I guess your character chooses whatever you want.
Yeah. And it all goes towards your guild. Yes. The points that you rack up with your books.
Which, ironically, we did because there's a little, questionnaire.
Yeah.
That determines your guild, and somehow we ended up in the same guild. I still don't know how that
happened.
We
didn't even answer the same.
We didn't.
And yet we still did.
I don't know how we did that. It was very funny, though.
It was. I wasn't expecting it at all. Especially since I didn't know what you'd answered, but I knew it was different to mine.
It was. But that's how we ended up.
And I almost made 2 characters, but instead I did stick to 1.
You just didn't want to be in my guild. Weird. So my character was an earthling or something like that. Like it was like earthling twice. I don't know.
An earthy earthling.
Yes. That. And so my character was starting to be a master of elements.
And mine was a vampire. And mine calling was craftsmage.
Calling, that's what they're called, not calling. I knew it was a C word.
Yes.
So, as far as my classes. So, first I was going for my elemental studies class. So, for the ordinary, I read The Sea Spirit Festival by Claudia Arsenault. And this is the 3rd one in the series, I think, of novellas. They're like cozy fantasy novellas. It was very cute. Very good. This actually might be my favorite one in the series so far. It was really good. And that was for the prompt of favorite scent, because I like the scent of the ocean.
That makes sense, yeah.
That one was a hard prompt for me. I wasn't sure what.
Yeah, I recall you struggled over what scent you want.
Yeah.
Like, what do you
like? A lot of common scents I don't enjoy, so it was hard to come up with one. So that's what I went with.
And then my class was first one was Inscription. And so the first book I read for that one was, the prompt was first name letters, and I read The Spell Shop. And that one, it was really cute. The beginning is a little dark, not super bad, because the whole book is really intended to be cozy magic, and it succeeds in that. And you have sentient plants and all this magic, plant magic, forest magic stuff.
All the things.
And there is some conflict, but it's still definitely a cozy little book. Very cute, very sweet. And I didn't even dislike the romance,
which is shocking.
So, all in all, I appreciated that one. And that one counted double for me.
That's true, because that was the guild book?
Yeah, it was the guild book.
All the guilds have their own specific book club book, and that one was ours. I didn't get around to reading Oopsie. So the next one is still in elemental studies, but I was going for my qualified, and it was read a book that is 100 pages more than the book you last read, and I picked these out before we actually started reading, so it was the one I'd read at that time. Anyway, I ended up reading Nothing Special Through the Elder Woods. It is a graphic novel. It's very cute. It's about a girl her father goes missing, and she goes after him into like this magic realm that she's not really allowed to be in. So, and trying to find her father with her friend. They're like little vegetable spirits, and they are adorable, and I love them. It was a lot of fun. I had a really good time with it, and definitely will be reading the next one.
And then still for Inscription, the next one I was doing was Q. That was Color Wheel, where you were supposed to spin a color wheel. That one was blue, so I picked the book Out of the Blue.
The name was Out of the Blue too?
Yeah, that's
Out
of the Blue is the name of the book.
That's funny.
It has blue on it, and it has blue in the name, therefore.
Yeah, doubly blue.
Exactly. Because obviously it's got water, all this blue, 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 blue. So it was Out of the Blue. This one, it was good. It was a touch too dramatic for me.
It's teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very teenage. Like I could see that level of drama in like real. It was not unrealistic as far as teenage drama. It was just a little bit much. It was just a little too much drama. It was really cute though. We obviously had a mermaid and a human, and that was cute. That's about all I have to say about it, really. Out of the blue, mermaids and swimming and stuff.
So, and then for the third one in elemental studies, because I had to get a distinguished, was a book with sparks on the cover. And I struggled with this more than I probably should have. But I actually ended up doing a reread of Unfamiliar, which is a graphic novel. It's very cute. It's about witches. And it's adorable. And it's got like stars, spark things on the cover. So I counted that. Yeah, about a witch who moves into a house and it's haunted by so many ghosts. And she's trying to figure out how to get the ghosts to pass on and stuff. And it's very cute and it's very sweet.
So next, I needed a D in artificery. And the first one, which would be O, was number in the title. And I went with 2 dark rains. And this one, it's in the series of books. So I'd already read I think like the first 2 or whatever. This was like the 3rd book, I think. And it was good. It's about these sisters who they're all it's this world where it's a really messed up system, and you the sisters are like supposedly descendants of this goddess of the island, and there's always multiple sisters born, but only one of them can like ascend to be queen of the island, and they have to kill each other for the title.
Oh, good. Great.
They're like quite messed up because like for example, they raise them together when they're young, and then they take them away from each other and then tell them that they'll have to grow up and kill each other. It's like, oh,
cool,
awesome,
great.
You're really great parent figures for the like super great, like top notch, really, for childcare. Um, but so yeah, and they all have different powers, and all this. And so there's political intrigue and just in general lots of like typical backstabby stuff in here. And also you have the sisters who maybe want to kill each other, maybe actually don't want to kill each other, and are trying to figure out how they're supposed to get along without killing each other, but maybe they kill each other, and
Relatable.
right? Typical sister thing.
Exactly.
And so it was good. I liked it. It wasn't the end of the series, it was mid, whatever. So that's the book.
Okay, so next I needed in ordinary and shapeshifting. And the prompt was jewelry on the cover or in the title. So I read A Bon Me for Two. Yes, Trinity went. This was very cute. So this is set in Saigon. It has, it follows two different young women. One that grew up there and lives there and runs a banh mi stand with her family. And the other one who's actually coming to visit Saigon because that's where her mother's family is from, but her mother won't talk about their family at all. So she's spending a semester abroad in Saigon, and she's from California. And they end up meeting, and the one who's from Saigon obviously is showing around the other woman as she's trying to find her family there because it said her mother won't talk about them, nothing, but she wants know more about the family she came from. It was very cute and it was very sweet. My favorite part of the whole book was definitely the food and like the culture and stuff. That was really fascinating. I could have read a whole book just about that. Even though the girls are both very cute, but I was just like, more food and culture things, please. But it did cover quite a bit, so it was really interesting. And I did think the third act kind of breakup thing was kind of not necessary.
That's unfortunately true of most
But
third act breakups.
Yeah, breakup. Were they together? I don't know. But the whole fight was kind of unnecessary, but it was still really good, and I really enjoyed it overall.
So still in artificery. Next was qualified, and that one prompt was birthstone, and I picked a botanist's guide to flowers and fatality, which is book number 2 in the Saffron Everly mysteries, which obviously they're murder mysteries.
Yes.
And I did enjoy it. This one, I enjoyed it a bit less than the first one, mostly because they had a trope in it that was introduced in book 2 that I don't like.
Oh no.
Which, yeah, I was a little annoyed by that. It wasn't super bad, it was just kind of annoying because we end up with this like love triangle thing going on.
Yeah.
And and I was like, why did we need that?
You don't.
And I wasn't super thrilled that that was the direction we went in, but it was fine. It was
Not good, huh?
nah, it was fine. It's whatever. But yeah, the mystery was fun, and interesting. Basically, our main character is obviously a botanist, and so she gets asked about these murder scenes that have all these different flowers left, and she figures out, for one thing, all the flowers are poisonous, and at each of these scenes, which is a pretty clear indicator of intent. And she figures out like what part and or meaning there is behind these flowers, which kind of leads into possible motives and all this stuff. And so she gets pulled into this, and so of course, you know, as it goes, the usual things of, oh, danger, danger.
Yeah.
Because of course you're meddling with murderers.
Yeah.
And so, it really, that's the plot. That's I don't need to tell you anymore. If you've ever read a mystery even moderately similar, you know. You know.
Mm.
And so, but it was good. It was interesting. I did enjoy the flower. It was fun. So, yeah, that was the book.
So then I need to get an ordinary in animal studies, which the prompt was Phoenix. That was the whole prompt, Phoenix. And this did not go how I planned. So I ended up reading a comic, Phoenix in Song, which ended up being fine. It was fine. I don't know if it's part of another series because in the beginning it kind of seems like they expect you to know some things that have already happened, even though it's listed as volume one.
Oh. Hmm.
So, but you can kind of understand vaguely what happened, so it wasn't that big of a deal, and it was fine. I'm not the biggest comic person. I think I'm realizing can't really say anything that happens because it's really short.
Yeah.
So, it has Phoenix in it.
Yeah.
And the other X-Men, and
Yeah.
stuff happens.
Although sometimes it's true with comics like those. Sometimes they say volume one, but they don't really mean volume one.
And maybe if it did have other, like another series it was connected to, and if I'd read that, maybe I would have liked it more. I'm not sure, but
yeah, sometimes you really have to do some detecting on those. It's like, is this really volume one, or
yeah,
or no?
I didn't really leave myself time to do.
And then the final book, which was distinguished, and the prompt was non-human protagonist.
Oh, I loved that one.
This one to me was a pretty obvious book choice. Because a non-human protagonist, I chose Network Effect, The Murderbot Diaries number
Yay!
5. Because obviously, non-human protagonist.
Yep.
And so, yeah, this book was really good. I enjoyed it. It's one of the longer books.
It is the longest one.
I think, yeah, it's the longest in the series thus far. This one had 352 pages.
Which for Murderbot's long.
Yeah, for that it's shockingly long because none of them are usually that long. But accordingly, lots happened.
Yeah.
Lots and lots happened, and some of it was upsetting.
Yeah.
You were sad for the characters in some cases, and all the trauma.
Yeah.
I can't really tell you that much about what was happening because everything is spoilery.
Yeah,
and it's tied in all over the place. But obviously,
yes.
But yeah, so I can't tell you that much because it does spoil other things and other books, and so therefore I must more or less not say very much. But yes, this one definitely had the most, like, I guess, traumatic events thusly in the series.
Yeah.
So it was very lots of things going on, very exciting, very I mean, not maybe as upsetting as the end of 2, but
yeah, that was very upsetting.
It was less upsetting than that, but
still upsetting though.
Mm-hmm. But I definitely liked it. 5 stars. Great book. Good installment in the series of Murderbot.
But I still have a few left because for my calling, it required more books for some reason. I don't know. So I need to get an ordinary in astronomy, and it was book released in the month that you're born in. So I read The Full Moon Coffee Shop, which I was really hoping would be like the manga that's called I Am a Cat Barista. It's very cute and cozy and sweet. It's not really that. I mean, kind of. Like, the concept is the same, but the
Execution.
well, the execution is different, but also just the like feeling is different. Like, I Am a Cat Barista is very cozy. Woman Coffee Shop does not feel as cozy. It's definitely a little more
Somber.
yeah, I would say probably somber. You're following more than one character. I think you follow four. They each get their own little story. They do interconnect as well. And they, go to this and they find this coffee shop that just randomly appears. They're all having like certain questions or problems with their life or whatever, and it was good. I felt like the visits to the coffee shop were kind of vague. Like the advice that they were given was kind of vague. I'm not really sure how it was helpful, but it seemed to help them, I guess. So I don't know, but it was still really good. It just wasn't what I was hoping it would be exactly in like the overall feeling of it. So but it was still good. I would still recommend it. Oh, I'm the next one. Okay.
Yeah, that would be you again.
Not me just waiting. Okay, so then I needed restoration. So for the ordinary, it was Night Sky on the cover. I read Cage of Dreams by Rebecca Schaefer.
Yeah.
So this was the second one in the duology with City of Nightmares. And I had a great time. I only have one complaint, and I can't say what it is. But overall, I had a fantastic time.
I know it was dinosaur related.
Shh. Can't say that.
I can. It doesn't mean anything to anyone.
Well, it says. But so this is I actually finished the duology. Look at me.
Yay.
I really enjoyed this. I think I might have enjoyed this one even more than the first. Oh, I don't know. I love them both. They're very chaotic.
Yeah.
But I have such a good time every time, and this was no exception. I think I blasted through it in like a few hours. But
I think that happened with the first one too.
Yeah.
It seems like it should be long, but then it's really not.
you can it's such a quick read. And I can't really say a lot because it's the second one. Yeah. So sorry, but I had a wonderful time.
Things happened.
Yes, things happened. It was great. And then for the qualified, which is as far as I needed to get in restoration, there's Poisonous Plant on the cover or in the title. Elle had to help me because I do not have any books with that. And so
yeah, we were looking hard.
We were looking hard.
It was trouble.
And so I eventually found Poison Ivy, the Virtuous.
Sure.
Number one.
I forget what the rest of the title was, but
so yes, I read that. It was just okay for me. That's why I think comics might be just okay for me, like those style of comics. It did feel again like I'd missed something somewhere, but maybe not as bad as Phoenix one. But it was good. I think I liked it more than the Phoenix one. But I do like Poison Ivy more as a character as well. So that could be part of it.
Probably.
But it was good. It was definitely more satisfying to read. But yeah, it was just about Poison Ivy doing some stuff I can't really talk about because it would be a spoiler.
So I mean, if you know Poison Ivy, you know what she's up to.
Yes. So it was good. Just wasn't my favorite, but it was still good. And that was all the classes that I needed. So we both did it.
And
Yay.
We also both did extra credit, but
we
won't mention all the books.
If we mentioned all the extra credit books we did, we would be here for
a long time.
7 days. So,
but I think we were very successful.
It was a lot of fun though.
But I think this is a really unique idea. Almost D&D book version.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's kind of what she was inspired by. Yeah.
And so I think it's super unique. It's a cool idea.
It is. And she does so much work for this.
You can tell.
So much work.
You can tell. There's a Discord. There's all kinds of things involved in this.
Yeah, there's so many side things for people who want to do more. She's created all these side things. She's created this whole world. And she has all these
point systems.
Yeah, there's a point system. She makes all these documents for it. There's so many things that you can have with it. It's just insane.
I almost did make 2 characters because it was very tempting to have more than one character.
Yeah. There's always next year.
Yeah.
For the spring semester, I think it's usually in April, so.
Oh, yeah. So that's how we did on our Magical Readathon. If you participated, hope you had fun as well. Thanks for listening to Magic and Mayhem. All right, bye.